What's up, kids? Chris here. Let's talk about planning for Q3. Third quarter of the year starts next week. It is almost here. And it's so important to plan for that because you need to be on your game, right? So this is a kind of a combination of a lot of questions we get about looking ahead, how to plan for crazy, challenging times. So much has already gone on in 2020. It's out there. Who knows what Q3 will look like? Who knows what the next school year will look like? What travel will look like? Blah, 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 blah. All the stuff that we do as people, how we connect to our communities, how we are interacting out there on the street, in restaurants, at schools. There's so many things that are kind of unknown, right? So how do you actually, what's up, Matt? How do you actually plan for the unknown? Hey, it's good to see you. So how do you plan for the unknown is a really good question. So here's what you can and can't do. You can't predict the future, right? None of us know how the next quarter, how the rest of the year is going to look, or how that new year, what's up, Pip? How that new year is going to tip over. But what you can do is control what you can control. So right now, the reason I'm bringing this up right now is because I've been kind of saving this question up. We're in the middle of our planning week for our staff and I. So we take the last week of each quarter. And I know that's actually, I think, next week, but I'm on vacation next week. So the last week of each quarter that we're actually working, we actually take that time and plan. We spend 2 planning days, one day looking back, kind of here's what's happened the past quarter, maybe past 6 months, and documenting kind of our workflow. And really, what's up, morning? Good morning, Pip. We document our workflow and kind of say, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing, and here's who's in charge of each major project. Here's how they're working. Are they effective? Are they not? Kind of looking back, all right? That's what we just did actually this morning. That's today. Tomorrow, and I recommend you do the same thing, break it up into 2 days because you kind of need time to sleep on it, to get your head around how to be strategic about the next step. Tomorrow, we look together as a staff about what are we going to do going forward? What are those projects and tasks and roles going to look like? What new things are we going to tackle? What are we going to try to accomplish in the next 90 days? That's 12 weeks of working time, the next 90 days. And that's all we focus on. We're not focused on what's happening by the end of the year or by the end of next summer. We're focused on the next 90 days. That's just the way we work. We always work that way. So what happened the last 90 days? What's going to happen in the next 90 days, split into 2 different days, thinking that through and being strategic. Now, there's some things you can control, right? You can control how much work and input you do. You can control how many staff hours you're willing to burn on different projects or tasks. You can control the kind of technologies you want to incorporate, the communities you want to reach out to, the way you want to get referrals, the way you want to try to generate leads. You can control all of that activity. You cannot control what the world around you does. You can't control the news cycle. You can't control what's going to show up on social media. You can't control a pandemic, right? You can't control some of those things that are outside of your realm, but you can control your activity and smart thinking in the middle of all of that normal stuff in the world. I love that because there's a lot of things that you can simply overcome by strong, thoughtful, strategic activity. I don't mean working a ton more. That's not why we have this group. It's not here to work a ton more and everybody hustle on the weekends. You don't have to do that. But you do need to be very strategic and take a minute, step away from the noise and plan your next 90 days. And then next 90 days, you're going to plan your next 90 days. Every quarter, you plan the next 90 days. Be strategic. Think through what relationships do you currently have that you could lean on to build referrals. Think about what's worked for you the past 90 days in particular, because so many things have changed in our markets. What's been working? What hasn't been working? Start really focusing in on the things that are working right now. Things are pivoting. We're still humans. We still spend money. We still want websites. We still need digital services. Whatever it is that you and your agency sell, people still need that. The real thing is, how are they engaging in that? How are they prioritizing that? What's the new story, the new fear, the new emotion, the new stuff that's going on in their head to get them to actually buy and adopt? That's what you need to look back on and see what's been working, what hasn't, and think through strategically, how do you focus more and more on that going forward, all right? That's super big, super important, and that's going to help you really change a lot in the next quarter. Don't look at the next quarter as, oh my gosh, what's happening? I don't know, it's so confusing, there's so many moving parts. Yes, welcome to life. There are a lot of moving parts. You never can tell what's going to come. What you can do is you can be very strategic about what's working right now, what's starting to work, what's working for your peers, leaning in on other folks that are having some success, and trying to emulate that or do more of what's already working for you. Take action. Take very strategic, positive, forward momentum action. Be smart and do it. That's what we're doing. All right, anyway, that's overly simplified, I know. But then, Chris, what do we do? Great question. There's so many ways you could actually talk about what's going to happen with your market or what your products and services should look like, what your pricing should look like, all that kind of stuff. We've talked a lot about that in past posts. We'll continue talking about that to keep you prepared. But bottom line is take a minute and breathe, look back and look forward and plan strategically. All right. Hope that helps. And we will talk again soon. Happy Monday. And have a great rest of the week. I'll be talking to you tomorrow. We'll get through our forward planning day tomorrow. I'll probably update you on how that goes and maybe some tips on how to do that. And then we'll catch up for the week. Thanks. Bye.